Hey there fellow YouTubers, Evan here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my video game collection. I'm going to break this down into two parts. Part 1 is going to be my PlayStation games and PC, and Part 2 is going to be my next gen and last gen games, PS2, Wii, GameCube, Xbox, all that stuff. Alright, first off, I have Chrono Cross here. This is one of my favorite games of all time, black labeled by the way. And yeah, I love this game. Then right next to it, this is a double pack that was released, the Final Fantasy Chronicles? Yeah, Final Fantasy Chronicles, Chrono Trigger, and Final Fantasy 2 or Final Fantasy 4. Chrono Trigger is my favorite game of all time, and I'll talk about that later on. I'll make another video on it. We have Guys. This is a 3D fighter made by Squaresoft back in the day. Features Final Fantasy 7 characters, which is the reason I got it, and possibly the most annoying sound I've ever heard on a main menu. It is god awful. Great game though, but if you go to the main menu and mess around, your fucking head will explode. Final Fantasy Origins, the original Final Fantasy 1 and Final Fantasy 2 that were on the NES. Great games. Final Fantasy Anthologies, one of the best Final Fantasies ever, Final Fantasy 6. Yeah, I said it. You might notice this is Greatest Hits. Through this collection you're going to see Greatest Hits because I had the original and I lost it, or they broke, or I lost the handbook, so I might have a mix of original CDs with Greatest Hits handbooks. Xenogears, great game, I love this game. Parasite Eve. I had Parasite Eve 2, but it broke. But Parasite Eve 1 is my favorite anyway. Parasite Eve 2 was okay. Final Fantasy 7 original handbook, but Greatest Hits CDs. I had the original CDs, but they got all scratched up. They couldn't even play anymore. I couldn't get past the first disc, so I just threw them away. Well, actually, I didn't throw them away. I gave them away and bought a Greatest Hits edition. Final Fantasy Tactics, I love this game. I've spent so many hours on this game. I have this game and the PSP version. So yeah, it's a great game. I love it. Final Fantasy 8, great game. Final Fantasy 9, you guys are just noticing a trend here. One of the most underrated Final Fantasies of all time. This game is incredible. I don't know why people don't like it. I thought it was great. Legendary Dragoon, another underrated RPG that was great. I wish they made a sequel. It's such an awesome game, and I don't have the handbook. I lost it, and I can't find one anywhere. Nightmare Creatures. I played this first on the N64, and then I played the PS1 and the PS2 games. This is a great hack and slash game that I believe they canceled this series. I mean, I heard there was a third one, but I never played it. But the second one's my favorite, and it is a great game if you like survival horror, hack and slash, and plus, it's got music by Rob Zombie. Hell yeah. Who doesn't like Rob Zombie? Silent Hill, the original, probably the first game that scared the shit out of me. Well, besides the original Resident Evil, but great game, I love it, and it's a classic. Metal Gear Solid, again, I have original with Greatest Hits. I lose my games too much. Legend of Gaia, another underrated game. Really great game. If you like the whole world map scheme for Final Fantasy VII, it pretty much has the same engine, the same game design. So if you like Final Fantasy VII, you might like this game. Medal of Honor. At the time, I used to be into the Medal of Honor series until Call of Duty came out. But the original is great. Nonetheless, it's still a great game. My favorite Medal of Honor, which I don't have anymore, was Medal of Honor Frontline for the PS2. Alundra, and you can actually see this type of design is the printed off a computer, because I think Working Designs was being cheap. But anyway, this is a great game, awesome game. It's kind of like Link to the Past for the PlayStation, old school Zelda that Sony tried to replicate. Alright, we come to my Capcom part of the collection. We got Resident Evil 1 with my original and a Greatest Hits handbook. Sorry. This game, probably the only Resident Evil that I still think is actually scary. Leads more to the survival horror genre. And I know people are going to bash me like, oh, Resident Evil survival horror. I believe that throughout the series, it's been more action-oriented and less scary. The original Resident Evil, to me, is the scariest one. Resident Evil 2 for the PlayStation, great game. People say it's like one of the best besides Resident Evil 4. I think it's a great game. I don't think it's the best, but this is my favorite. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Nemesis is fucking awesome. He's got to be the best villain I've ever seen in a video game, game or franchise or whatever. He scared the shit out of me when I first saw him, and every time I just wanted to run away. And it's just a great game. I love it. The way the flow of the game is incredible. There's a whole bunch of shit going on, and I just love it. It's a great game. Rambling on. Anyway, Soul Reaver, Legacy of Kain. I played the second one, and I beat it, but I did not beat the first one. I played halfway through this game, and it's a great game. I like it a lot. I never played the Legacy of Kain Blood Omen series, but still a great game. Marvel vs. Capcom, probably one of the best fighting game series in the entire fighting game universe. I love Marvel vs. Capcom, and I used to play this all the time in the arcade. Alright, moving on to PC before I run out of time. Star Wars Jedi Knight. I love the Jedi Knight series. This is the second one. Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, great game. Gunman. This was given to me. I don't know anything about it. It apparently uses the Half-Life 1 engine, but I heard it sucks. I only keep it because a friend gave it to me. The original Unreal Tournament, great game. I love the modifications that this game had. There were so many mods when I played it back in the day, and I still think it's the best one, the best Unreal Tournament, next to 2004. I didn't play the Unreal Tournament 3 yet. Medal of Honor, Allied Assault, Spearhead, all the expansions. Great games, but nothing compared to Call of Duty. I have the original Call of Duty, both expansions, and the OST, original soundtrack. Great games. I think they're far superior compared. The Call of Duty is more superior than the Medal of Honor series. Alright, No One Lives Forever. Think of like Austin Powers and James Bond in an FPS. That's what you get when you play this game, No One Lives Forever. It's like old 70s British theme comedy. It's pretty cool. I heard they made a sequel to this, but I never played it. But I love this game. This is probably the only game I like from Fox Interactive. And of course, you can't have PC collection without Blizzard games. StarCraft, one of the best PC games of all time, still standing today. Brood Wars. I have these two games in my computer right now. I play them all the time. Brood Wars and Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne. Reign of Chaos and the expansion for Warcraft 3. Both great games. Undead Scourge, yeah. Diablo 2, great series. I prefer StarCraft and Warcraft 3 over Diablo 2, but still a great game. And the original Diablo, Roller Coaster Tycoon, awesome sim game. If you love sim games, you can build roller coasters and have people fall off them and die horrible deaths. It's awesome. Alien vs Predator 1, great game. I love Skirmish. It was awesome. AVP 2, Alien vs Predator 2, the FPS, great game, and online play was incredible back in the day. We got Half-Life. Look how many CD keys I have. It's ridiculous. I actually don't need these CDs anymore because I have Steam, but still a great game. Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2, the original Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. I won't get into this really because it's a piece of shit. It's the worst of the Jedi Knight series. Fear, Tactical Recon, great games. I didn't really care for the expansions, but I have them anyway. Speeding this up. Age of Empires. Age of Empires 1 and 2, great games. Die Hard, I don't know anything about that. And last we have Dungeon Siege. The first one and the expansions. This was actually given me, and I personally think this is better than Diablo 2, but that's just me. Anyway, that's my collection for PS1 and PC games. Sorry, I had to speed it up at the end. Anyways, go watch part 2.